welcome back to Follow Through. We're hoping you're having a great Thursday on this Thursday episode of Follow Through. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Follow Through Show, Twitter at FT Through Show, TikTok at Follow Through Show, and Facebook, which is for what? Your parents at Follow Through. There you go, Clay. And you can email us at followthrough.podcast@gmail.com. Make sure you're following Blake at BlakeMCO2 on the Slim Jim Man Cam. You can follow Clay at Clay2Mac, Eli at Eli McCoy61, and me at Daxon Crow, no official. Welcome to this episode of Follow Through. We're hoping you're having a great day. How is your day, Clay?
It's going. Still a little early. We got a lot of day left, but so far so good. I'm gonna toss it over to Blake over there on the little Slim Jim Cam. There you go, man. Let's see. People want to see what you got going. Hey, what's up?
How we doing, boys?
Let's go.
Doing good. Eli, how are you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Hanging in there, Dax. Let's get it rolling.
Let's get it rolling.
You know what that means?
Oh, it means top 5. And we're going to do something a little different today.
Very different.
Top 5 favorite animals. I definitely think I've got the most different list out of all of you.
I don't know.
I'm a huge animal person. As
You're the one who came up with that top 5 animals.
This hits home for me. I'm excited for this. My list is at 9. So
top 10 for
that's
Clay.
More than me.
Golly.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll kick us off since I'm so passionate about it. I'll get my top 10 out of the way real quick. Number 9, gorilla. Gorillas are awesome. They're just ginormous.
You actually did this. You're not doing an honorable mention?
Okay, honorable mention,
there we go.
But 9.
Yeah.
Big old and walk around like that.
Okay.
8 is a kangaroo. I've always thought the pouch was cool and just hopping around. And plus, they can fight. And they're ripped, too. If you ever see one of them stand up, they got some big old pecs on them, too.
I didn't know we went to the zoo gym here.
7 is a panda, opposite of fit. Very chunky and fat, but very lovable.
We're here for that.
Very hungry. I love a good panda. And my mom loves pandas, so that's kind of... I love my mom. My mom loves pandas, so there you go, being a good son.
Nice.
Number 6.
My mom loves me.
Number 6, casual, but a dog. You just can't beat a good boy or girl, but I like to say good boy. It sounds better, even though I have a girl dog. And then my number 5 is a giraffe. This would not have been on my list until we went and me, Dax, and Eli went and helped move this person, and they have, as you can tell, they were kind of hurting for money. They have like pet giraffes. I don't know if you would call that a pet, but they had giraffes, and I felt like we really connected. So giraffe is my 5.
Yeah, he almost bit your ear off.
He just wanted love.
All right.
Blake, what's your number?
My 5.
What's your honorable? You got an honorable mention?
I don't have a single honorable mention.
Oh, wow. So
I'm going straight to 5.
He's locked down on his 5.
Yeah.
Turn me up, Blake.
This may catch you off guard.
I'm caught.
My number 5 is a seahorse.
Holy crap.
Dude.
What? Okay, I take back my statement.
Great
They're
Pokemon. I don't know about an animal.
Okay.
Hey, wait. This is not to you, Blake, Eli. Boo. Back to Blake.
They're just so cute. I don't know what about them, dude. I love them.
Seahorse. Have
I
you ever
always
seen
like
one?
wanted
And the
one.
men can get pregnant.
Yeah.
Talk about being a good husband, taking one for the team. Be like, I got it, babe.
I could not take one for the team. Could not.
Nice.
Eli, number 5.
Number 5, Clay, was on your top 10. I got a panda. They're cool. We've agreed that Ellis kind of reminds us, he has those.
Literally a walking
He's got panda tendencies.
Panda vibe.
The song almost took them off the list just because of, how overplayed it is. But I'm gonna roll with the panda here.
So I feel comfortable doing it. I wanted to do it, but now that Clay did it, I feel comfortable doing it. I'm going to take dog off my top 5, move him to honorable mention because I don't want to waste a spot on the dog. I'm not going to lie. Another honorable mention at number 6 would definitely be a kangaroo. Love them too. I think they're awesome. And the fact that they can fight, that's really cool. Number 5 for me, a koala.
Oh.
Who doesn't want a cute little koala that can also bite your face off?
Yeah,
kill you.
I tend to want to cuddle with a koala if he's not one of the ones that is going to bite my face off.
Yeah, he probably.
And they're kind of gross, but I freak the koalas heavy.
Just like a good HD picture, they're beautiful.
Yeah, it's like
I'm sure out in
hanging
the
on
wild,
the bamboo, like
It looks like such a good snuggle buddy.
yes,
Like-
that can bite your face off.
I mean,
You get the best of both worlds: something that's cuddleable and something that'll protect you. Give me my pet koala. What's your 4?
I'm ahead of the ocean. I'm gonna go with a dolphin. Dolphins are just lovable. They just love everything about life. They hang in pairs. They love to be around people and other dolphins. They're just a whole vibe. And whenever we went on our little family trip to Tybee, dolphins everywhere, and they just all follow in a line, and It just made me happy. They're just happy animals, and I like to see that.
I thought you were going to say the family trip we took earlier in the summer, but okay.
We didn't see dolphins.
Very true.
I mean, these dolphins were like from me to Blake. Like, it was insane. But
Shoot.
The Slim Jim Man Cam, let's cut it over to there.
All right. My number 4, I'm staying in the ocean, and I got a sea turtle. I've always wanted a turtle, dude. Every time we went to the beach, we'd go to, like, I don't even know what you call them, the surf shops or whatever where you get stuff. And they'd always have baby turtles, and I always wanted one, but I never got one.
you know, Rocky
I
had a
love 'em.
turtle. Rocky Balboa. And his...
He didn't have a sea turtle.
No, yeah, not a sea turtle, but he had a turtle.
He did have a turtle.
Yeah.
He had a turtle.
Did the scene
I like turtles.
I like turtles.
Nemo have anything to do with it?
All right,
No,
totally right, dude.
But I do love that
That was
scene.
pretty good. That was really good.
Blake is an aqua guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
He likes his water animals.
Yeah.
Noggin.
My number 4 is a penguin. We were talking about it before the show. They're just cool, and they just waddle around.
Hating
And
off of Blake's gif.
Madagascar, that played a huge part in that. Those guys are fine.
The spy penguins.
Yeah,
They're fine. I can't
they
disagree.
are.
What's
Private.
the... No, crap. What's the one... What's the stupid one's name?
Private.
No, that's not... That's,
that's the good
Private's the head one.
Doesn't he go like...
Is it...
We got Kowalski. I mean, not...
Kowalski's a smart one.
Yeah. Private.
What's the short fat one?
Oh, my
That's
gosh.
Private, I think. I think
I thought
Private
that
is...
was.
Okay.
Skipper, Private, Kowalski, and Rico.
Rico.
Yeah.
Rico's the man.
Rico.
Skipper is the leader.
Yeah, and Private's the... that one.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Rico always pulls stuff out of his mouth.
Yeah, and he eats, like, everything.
Yeah.
Dax, what's your number 4?
Hold up. Pause real quick. I've got to do this.
Dax has to...
There he is.
Man.
Hey.
Private.
Can't really see
Rico.
He's an innocent soul. He just... Skipper was a little hard on him, but...
Okay.
He's there to be on the team.
My number 4 is a panda as well. I love the restaurant. And all I could think about every time I think about a panda is that big panda just waving and Ellis standing right beside it.
That is a
There's
great
a awesome video of Ellis. And who doesn't want to just hang out with a panda? It can walk on its hind legs. It can walk on all 4 legs. It can climb. And I really just want to take a picture with a panda sitting down like this and me sitting between in its lap. Just me and
And
the
it can
panda
teach you
just
kung
him,
fu.
like, having a piece of bamboo and you just wrapped around his arms.
Yes.
Nice.
I want to be with a panda.
My number 3, we're going to head to the Arctic.
Oh.
We're going to grab
Geography.
an Arctic wolf. I don't know if you've ever seen these
Whoa.
things. These things are
things are
majestic
fire.
animals, just all white, and they're in the snow, so they like blend in with their environment, hang out in packs, of course, because they're wolves. They hunt in packs. They are awesome animals. I've always loved wolves. I don't really know why, but I just think they've always been pretty cool animals, and I like the pack, like hanging out in a packed aspect of it. So I have an Arctic wolf at
I'm
3.
freaking heavy with this Arctic wolf.
He's fire. I'd
like to breed him with a dog.
I would have a pet one, but
Slim
My
Jim.
number 3, this is like a shocker, is an emu.
What?
Look,
I'm here for it.
and one of the reasons is the Liberty Mutual commercials. Limu, Emu, and Doug. Love Limu.
emu. Isn't that what Spencer had on iCarly?
Yes. What you
Yeah.
got there? Smoothie. It's a great scene.
Emos are so cool.
Oh,
I love them things.
All right, my number 3, we're going to kick it over to Leo at UNA and, go with the lion. You get to see one close. That's always cool. They are just, like the Lion King. They're just dominant, and it's awesome to see. And it's a good-looking animal.
My number 3, I also have a lion. Not Leo. But
Natney line?
I was more so... what?
Oh.
A Natney line?
A
No,
Nittany
no.
lion.
That thing is an... I can't even say the word I want to use to describe a lion. It is the ugliest mascot I've ever seen. It looks like a 5-year-old drew that with one arm tied behind its back, and they've never seen a lion before.
The mascot's good-looking, though.
No, it is not. That's what I'm talking about.
I know. I just wanted to get you fired up.
I'm also with the lion. Dude, all I can think about is a lion just standing there in full prawn, just
Yeah.
roaring.
Right.
And you're sitting there going, this is the king of the jungle. And the Sahara.
Dude, Narnia. I don't know if you've ever seen Narnia, but
Yes.
Aslan.
Aslan.
Yeah.
Ooh. When he comes back from the dead.
Yeah, he's
Beast.
that's something. My number
I'm
2,
with lions.
I also have a lion. Me and my guy Leo, y'all know we like to chop it up. It's just something about that King of the Jungle aspect, and it's not just that; it's the fact that they know it. The confidence is just at an all-time high all the time. They just walk around knowing that they're the thing. They're the main show. Kind of like Alex in Madagascar. He was the main guy. Everybody came to see the lion. And hearing that roar, dude, like will send chills down your spine. It's pretty crazy. Yeah. I have lion at number 2.
What, like that?
No, like
Okay. My number 2, a little bit of a different animal.
Okay.
I went with a sloth. I know.
we are all over the place.
Blake's on.
I don't know what about them. I like them. They move so slow, and it's kind of funny. And they just like climb a bunch. I don't know.
They're never in a rush.
Yeah.
Never in a rush.
They're in a hurry to get things
Especially
done.
from, what's that movie?
Zootopia.
Zootopia.
When they're at the D.
Yeah.
DMV.
Cracks me up.
Not
every
kid. Not kid the sloth.
Oh.
I have leprosy. I got leprosy.
Oh man.
My
number
Who knew
2,
I had animal impressions down?
I'm gonna go with the tiger over the lion. Obviously Homer with Auburn, but if you've ever actually seen a tiger, it looks cooler to me than a lion. Just the print, and that's really what made me put it above the lion. They're right there together, but the tiger's fine.
I could have put a Siberian tiger on mine.
Yeah.
Siberian tiger.
White,
My number 2.
Black stripe.
We're going to the ocean. Bruce. Give me the freaking shark. The great white shark.
They are fine.
It's my number 2.
Dang.
I love sharks. They intrigue me. Shark Week is my favorite summer week out of the year. I will put it up right there with 4th of July as one of my favorite holidays.
Holidays.
Shark Week is so cool. Like, to think about that's out there in the ocean that we swim in. And, like, when they jump out of the water, like, so high in the air and they get food, I'm heavy with sharks. And we need to protect them.
Megalodon.
You like picking animals that are like cool, but they also eat you if you're not careful.
I'm here for it. I like to live on the wild side.
Yeah, I mean, at least you don't have to mess around. It's strictly business around these guys.
I want to go into a shark cage.
Dude, I've seen too much
Indoor
crap
water.
where that happens and you get trapped.
Okay, look, 47 meters down is the most stupid.
That was the worst movie I've
never
ever
seen it.
It's so
Yeah,
bad.
it's pretty bad.
It's really
It's
bad.
very bad. My number 1, I don't think it's a surprise to anybody. I'm going back to the Arctic. We're taking a polar bear. I don't know
thought you might.
I don't know what it is about these things.
Coca-Cola.
That might be it, but dude, I'm telling you, since I was little, my emotional attachment to a polar bear has just been there. It's always been there. I've always loved them. When I go to the zoo, I make sure they have a polar bear, and if they don't, you know what? I'll still go, but I'm not going to enjoy it as much. Me and the polar bear at the Memphis Zoo, been there about 3 times.
Does he know
I'm
you?
telling you, he does this act for me where he'll start prancing back and forth. He does it for me. I'm telling you. And I don't know what it is. It's just polar bear is like the best animal ever, and they are endangered, and that pisses me off. So we need to protect them.
They look so fluffy.
I know, but they'll also eat you. So
Yeah.
But that's my
We're
number
here
1.
for animals that'll eat you.
At least you know they'll protect you if you have their support. So
My number 1, it was going to be a dog, but I decided to branch out because my entire list is like that. And I changed it to a snow leopard.
okay, that's
Very-
pretty.
That's fine.
pretty
That
cool.
is
Very
cool.
fine animal, stealthy. I love them.
10 out of 10 on the 5 scale.
Yeah, they're really like cute too. Like they're
cute.
white with like
And they'll eat you.
spotted.
Everybody loves.
I'm
a
here
good-
for it.
That's pretty fine.
I love
A
them.
leopard?
Let me get a good visual.
Got no problem.
Ooh,
And
there's
the baby leopards?
Yeah.
Dude,
The baby one.
they're sweet.
And the one on Kung Fu Panda?
Oh yeah.
The snow leopard on there, the evil one?
Dude, you know what? A jaguar is a cool animal. They're like
Yeah, just
they're
horribly
patterns
bad
and-
at
they're
football.
patterns and stuff. I saw one when I went to the zoo in Memphis, and like it's pretty cool.
Are
It's
you a
pretty
Memphis
neat.
Zoo member?
Dude, I should be.
My family
What about
used
a
to be.
Black Panther?
R.I.P.
You ready?
Rest in peace.
For my number 1, I'm gonna go with a giraffe right here. This is Oto.
No, call it what you usually call it.
Oto.
A zebra.
Yeah, he always
This
calls it a
is-
zebra.
This is Odo. He's been with us since day 1. Never got any camera time. So I told him I'd get him on today. So we're glad to have him. Drafts are just completely awesome, Clay. The experience we all had together. I was big on drafts before that, but after that day, yeah, like Clay said, it felt like we connected. And so, this is my number one animal for sure. That's awesome. If you ever get to interact with one,
he wanted lovins like a dog.
Yes,
like he was wanting us to pet him.
To us.
I was like, this is literally a dog with a 50-yard neck, basically.
It is awesome. It is incredible. So Oda, number one.
Respect.
There we are with the draft. A real
I probably can't say that. But look, his head in that was bent down, getting one
loving.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like giraffes here.
This is a good boy right here.
Is that up there with Lee Corso's headgear pick? You let us know at Follow Through Show on Instagram. Number one for me is the orca whale. I stayed in the ocean.
Orca whale.
Ever since I saw the orca whale in Free Willy, I just was mesmerized by them.
Respect.
They're so cool. They're beautiful. They're majestic. And they will kill you. Like
one of Dax's must-haves.
But they will protect you as well.
That's what my thing is they will, and when I say kill you, I'm talking about like the great white shark. There's multiple times on instance where people have been attacked by sharks and an orca whale will kill it.
Yep.
Like, I'm here for that. I went to SeaWorld with a trip with some people one time, and we didn't go to the orca whale show, and that pissed me off. Like, why do you go to SeaWorld and not go see the orca whales? That's what you're there for. So I've got to go see them before they completely ban them. They piss me off, too, because they're endangered, and when you put them in captivity and their freaking fin falls over because they were trapped in there and they have to swim around the little cage, it makes me so mad. I am an orca whale advocate.
Why did you go to SeaWorld?
Because if they're there, I'm going to see them, all right? Here's the deal.
Yeah, I mean, you ultimately can't control it.
Yeah.
They almost don't even look real. Like, it's kind of...
They're so cool. I mean, they're just cool. And I love the documentary. I mean, it kind of talks about how orcas have hurt people, but blackfish. Great documentary. Orca whale, so cool.
I liked that. That was fun.
And you immediately think of Free Willy. I mean,
I love good animal talk. That was good.
I do too. But I also love some NFL football talk.
We need a polar bear football team.
Goodbye, Oda.
Oh my gosh.
Get out of here.
I think he's going to stay for the day.
Somehow managed to get him stand up.
Yeah.
All right. NFL Week 3
Good boy.
preview. We've got Thursday Night Football, Panthers versus Texans. Sunday Night Football, Packers versus the San Francisco 49ers. And you got Monday Night Football with the division, the NFC Beast, Eagles versus Cowboys. We're going to give you our biggest takeaway, or our biggest key, the big key of the week for each game. And then at the very end, we're going to give you our boldest take for each for one game around the NFL that doesn't have to pertain to these three games. Let's go ahead and start with Thursday Night Football. Clay Mack, go ahead and give me your breakdown, Panthers-Texans, and then your big key to the game.
Panthers-Texans, this is not a matchup that is just like, really a big headliner like, oh, Panthers-Texans are playing, must-watch TV, but it is football, and it's early, so I'm going to take it, daggum, and I don't care who's playing.
Absolutely.
Panthers are 2-0. I know they had. I mean, I thought the win last week was pretty impressive against the Saints team, who looked to be legit. They held them to 7 points and they dropped 38 the previous week against the Packers. The Texans, of course, beat the Jaguars. Maybe. I don't think that's very impressive, but it's a win. You've won more than the other team, two teams in your division, the Colts and the Jaguars. So, I think the Panthers handle it pretty easily, especially with Tyrod Taylor being out. But my key takeaway, I'm gonna look at Houston. They need to establish a run game early.
Yeah.
Because do y'all know who exactly is their backup? I couldn't even tell.
Davis Mills.
You do not want to throw Davis Mills out there and make him throw the ball 30 times.
Stanford's finest.
You want to establish a run game with Ingram and David Johnson and Phillip Lindsay. So I'd say that would be my key factor. But ultimately, I think the Panthers should handle this.
Yeah. I think the Panthers have looked really good. I mean, coming into week 3, they have the number 1 defense in the league.
The shock.
Nice.
I didn't know that.
I was shocked to read it at first, too. And, I mean, Sam Darnold has 451 pass yards in the first half this season. That's the most in the NFL this year. He's been looking great, especially not like the Jets, Sam Darnold.
Cheers to Jets fans.
It's crazy what happens when you surround your quarterback with talent.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
Or just get him out of New Jersey. New York area.
My biggest takeaway, I guess, is for the Panthers, you got to come out hot. Because, I mean, if you sit there and play with the Texans, I think they can beat you.
Yep.
Texans almost won last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, for the Panthers, you just got to come out hot and get stuff done.
Don't mess around.
Yeah.
All right, for me, y'all kind of covered everything as far as the Panthers go. The Texans, they do have to establish a run game with Philip Lindsay and Mark Ingram. Can they get that done? I'm not sure. I think Carolina's defense, like Blake said, is great. The key to the game to me is going to be can Carolina stop the run game? If Houston gets it going, Carolina really hasn't had to stop a run game yet. They've done it most through the air. Defensively, they've got studs in the back end, but this is going to be a test for their linebackers and their front five. You got Horn and you got the safeties back there.
Jeremy Chin.
Yes, Chin. All those guys are looking sharp, but really the front hasn't been tested yet. So we're going to see how they do against the Texans because I don't see Houston throwing it a ton.
Yeah, especially not with Davis Mills or whatever.
Thursday, 8:20 p.m. NFL Network. Tyrod Taylor is day-to-day with his hamstring injury, which means that Deshaun Watson's not playing. It's already been said, which means Davis Mills is more than likely your starter. You don't like that when you're going to face the Panthers, who are allowing a league-low 190 yards per game so far. You give Christian McCaffrey another 20 touches, and I think that the Carolina Panthers, not for me, but for the rest of the people, I think that have watched the NFL, is the surprise 3-0 team of the year so far. I've been very high on this Panthers team. I said at the beginning of the season that I thought they were going to be the second best team in this division behind my Super Bowl prediction, which is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think that the big takeaway here is if you are the Texans, try to limit McCaffrey. That's really all that you really have to try to do to make Sam Darnold make mistakes, which so far in this season he has not made, but you need to try to force that. But if you let Christian McCaffrey get another 20 touches and put up 100-something yards and 2 touchdowns, you're not going to win this game. I'm going to take the Texans to lose 28-16 versus the
Joe Brady and Christian
Panthers.
McCaffrey on the same team should be illegal. That's just too much talent. He moves him around everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a deadly duo.
You probably have potentially the brightest mind in offensive football right now, I think, in Joe
Easily.
Brady.
And probably the most versatile football player in the league, honestly,
Exactly.
on the offensive side.
Exactly. Let's go and move to Thursday night's matchup. Sunday night's matchup. Packers versus the 49ers, a game that's become sort of a rivalry in the past few years. I don't know why you're flexing that Packers shirt over there.
Yeah, we did just beat the Lions by like 14.
All right, Clay Mack, what's your games for them?
This is interesting for me. The 49ers have surprisingly, I thought this offense was going to put up a lot of points. They really haven't, but their defense has played very well. They're 2-0. Packers, we all know, won last week, got killed week 1. Maybe week 1 was a fluke. I think this will be probably the ultimate test. We'll be able to figure out exactly what Green Bay is. My biggest key, I'm really going to look at the underdogs, and I would consider the 49ers to probably be the underdog in this one. My biggest key is get the ball into your playmakers' hands, especially George Kittle. George Kittle has really been a non-factor in the first 2 games, which is not normal. So I think they need to get him involved. And, of course, Deebo Samuel has been great. Brandon Ayuk has not been much of a factor either.
Oh, yes, he has not. Trust me, I know.
So if they can get the ball into their playmakers' hands. I know the backfield has just gotten a terrible injury bug. Everybody's hurt. So get the ball out quick. Don't make Jimmy G do too much. I think you give yourself a chance to win at home. So that would be my takeaway.
For me, as a Packers fan, our defense has never been good at stopping the run. So it's kind of good news for me that their whole backfield is hurt. Biggest takeaway for me as a Packers fan, I think we got to force Jimmy G to throw the ball 40 times this game because I don't trust Jimmy G to make the passes that someone usually can because he always hands the ball off, and I just don't see him getting it done with the pass game.
I agree with Blake on this. With no run game, it's going to be very tough. I mean, you're down three backs, I know for sure. One of them's questionable, but if you can't get the run game going, you're going to have to throw 50 to 60 times. And if Green Bay can, just somewhat stop the pass game without a run game, this game it's just not looking good for San Francisco. Blake, you might be 2-1 after this. That's my key to the game. Can San Francisco get any run at all? Help Jimmy G out, at least keep them honest with a run game. And so that's going to be the key to the game to me.
It's that week of the year. Let's go and queue up another round of Aaron Rodgers 49ers football talk. Everyone knows the 49ers passed on Aaron Rodgers. Doesn't take him. Green Bay won last year against San Francisco with a injury-riddled San Francisco 49ers team.
Yep.
A team that had no shot in the dark of beating them. But they returned the league MVP. A guy that showed up again this week. I would say that the Packers were playing their fourth preseason game week 1 against the Saints, and so they started off week 1 against the Lions. But I think my key to the game is this Packers defense. Will it show up? And in my opinion, I think they're going to get exposed. I'm going to go and take the 49ers here. I think they'll win.
Wow.
I think that I think Green Bay is going to get exposed here, and I feel very confident in this San Francisco team that's actually healthy, minus the running back room.
Another key for me going to the other side of the Packers is I thought the way they utilized Aaron Jones Monday night was incredible. If you can get a run game and take some pressure off of that Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, the run game will open that up, and then you have limitless amount of options on what you can do. So I think getting Aaron Jones involved again is huge. I love how they did that Monday night. And I know Blake did too because he won him his fantasy game. So that'd be my key. Keep Aaron Jones involved.
We were all pulling Aaron
Get a
Jones
nice
off.
run game and let that open up the play action pass, stuff like that. And then, if you can do that, that's a deadly offense because Devontae Adams is going to get his.
Hey.
Y'all ready?
Oh,
Monday night.
Eagles Cowboys.
Ooh. This
big
is
game.
This is a good one.
Clayback.
Monday night. The Monday
Two
night.
quarterbacks you love.
I know this is going to be tough. Two teams I like, really. These are probably my second and third favorite teams, honestly. The Cowboys, huge win. The Eagles hung in there. They only scored 11 points, which, like I said earlier, the 49ers defense has been pretty good. This is interesting. Monday night games are usually kind of iffy. I feel like this is a really good matchup. Where is it? I don't have
It's
it
in
pulled up.
Jerry
Dallas.
Jones.
It's in Dallas.
It's in Dallas. That probably plays a huge factor. I think I would say Philadelphia hangs around. I don't think they can do it. I don't think just the talent, it's not really there yet. They play hard, they play physical, but talent-wise, on the offensive end especially, Dallas is far superior. My key takeaway is just, of course, going to be Jalen Hurts. It starts there. He's always been a great runner, but it's always been, throwing the ball downfield has been his kind of what held him back. I feel like that's a key factor. If he's able to throw the ball downfield on a secondary that has improved drastically, I think that gives them a chance. But ultimately, I would think Dallas, handles business here.
Huge game, division game. It's at Dallas. That does play a huge factor. I think Philly's defense is going to play very well in this game. Rushing wise, I don't see Dallas doing much.
I don't. Yeah, their front, their line is solid.
It's very good. Dallas is going to have to get it done in the passing game, which I know that's not hard because they have Amari Cooper, Michael Gallup, which I think he's hurt.
Yeah, Michael CD
Lamb,
Tony Pollard has shown he can be a pass catcher. Yeah, they're stacked.
Philly's offense though is a little questionable in my opinion, just because I don't know. It's just like the run game to me is just like kind of iffy.
The offensive line is their offensive line is decent. They haven't been able to establish a run game yet.
I'm not big on Miles Sanders. I'm not. But I think Philadelphia goes to Cowboys and beats them there.
Nice. Dang. All right. I watched Dallas Hard Knocks, so I feel like I know a lot of these guys. That plays a part in this. Can Philadelphia, my key to the game right off, can Philadelphia do enough defensively to give their offense a chance to win the game? It's going to be the biggest thing to me. You got Zeke in the backfield. You got studs all around Dak. And if you go into this game, you're telling your defense, hey, we're not asking you to shut anybody out. We're not asking you to, do something crazy. Just give your offense a chance, get a few stops. And that's going to be the key to me. I think Dallas runs away with this one, honestly.
So you got the primetime Monday night matchup, a hatred-filled rivalry, a division rivalry. The Cowboys have played 2 thrillers in the last 3 weeks. They've played in 2 tight games in the last 3 weeks, and I don't think week 3 will be any different. The Eagles have lost their last 3 games in Jerry World. So I think that, going in there, that's already an advantage in Cowboys' head. Hey, look, they can't beat us here. I think it's going to be a back-and-forth matchup between Dak and Jalen all night. That's my key to the game is the quarterback matchup. I'm not even going to really say a thing. I just think the key is that you're going to have to watch this quarterback matchup because I think they're both going to be bringing it out on all cylinders. And I think Jalen Hurts flips the script this week. I think he's going to best Dak Prescott. I think Jalen is going to actually show people that he is QB1 in Philadelphia this week. I think that they're going to be proud of their Eagles. I think they're going to get out with a 27-24 victory over the Cowboys.
I thought Jalen has been pretty good, honestly. Week 1, I thought he was great. Last week, they weren't able to throw, and that hurt him. But I feel like first 2 games, I'm not saying he's been just magnificent, but he has not lost them games. You don't have to worry about that.
I agree, and that's why I just think that he's finally going to show that, hey, look, I am legit. Take me seriously. And I took that offensively.
He's doing just as much as Carson Wentz was doing for a lot less money. So
exactly. I agree. Well, go ahead and give. We're going to start around your bold take of the week in the NFL. Clay, Matt, go ahead and start with yours.
I was scanning all the games, and this one really stood out to me. This is definitely, you can have all these primetime matchups. This is the game of the week. Buccaneers versus Rams in LA. Very high chance this is a preview of the NFC Championship game right here. Bold take for the week. I think the Rams beat the Bucs by 10+. And if they meet again in the NFC Championship, I would almost guarantee Tampa Bay beats them if that happens. But I like this LA team. I feel like they're going to play with a little bit of a fire under them, probably more of a fire than the Bucs have. The Bucs have come off, last week a pretty easy game. It wasn't at first, but they ended up taking care of business. LA has looked solid. I like LA to get a big win here and really build it. I mean, if you win this game handedly, talk about a confidence booster. I mean, you're riding on cloud 9. So that'd be my bold take of the week.
My bold take, probably the boldest of them all. I just got to apologize to John Michael Joner in advance. It's going to be the Jets versus the Broncos. I think the Jets get their first win, and I think Zach Wilson doesn't throw a pick this game. I
wish I had
the game.
Hot take button going right now.
Very bold.
Not only, it is very bold to pick the Jets to win a game, considering the fact they've done it twice in like the past, who knows,
4 years.
And then Zach Wilson, he throws it to the other team just as much as his team. So that is very bold. We'll see.
True.
Yeah,
we'll see. John Michael's gonna be so mad.
He's gonna hate that.
Eli, what's yours?
My week 3 hot take. Scanning the games, I found this earlier. I like the Chargers to get it done against the Chiefs this weekend. Not going to put any points on that. However they can do it, I think they're going to get it done. If you remember last year in week 1, they went the Chiefs went to L.A., and honestly, I thought the Chargers played well enough to win that game. The Chiefs hit like a 55-yarder
OT.
to put it away. I think they're going to get it done this year. It feels like it's kind of becoming a rivalry. Justin Herbert's going to get his guys right, and they're gonna knock off Mahomes, and he's going to lose 2 straight in September.
Yeah, see, I can't believe that. There's no way. But that is a huge game for LA. You need that. You don't want to start 1 and 2.
No,
especially in that division, because Oakland is 10 times better than I thought they were going to. I mean,
Las Vegas.
Frick, sorry. so much rebranding and relocating. But, you do not need to fall behind this quick because it's going to be a lot of ground to catch up if you want to make a playoff push. So I agree. That's a big game. They need that one. Same for Kansas City, though. I mean, if you're 1 and 2, you're not promised, which they're going to be in the playoffs, let's be honest.
Yeah.
And win the division.
Yeah.
Who cares?
My bold take is also that the Chargers beat the Kansas City Chiefs.
2 bold takes.
The thing there is what a lot of people forget is that Justin Herbert was not supposed to start that game. Tyrod Taylor had a punctured lung right before the game started that put Herbert on there literally as the kickoff is about to go. He warmed up as the backup for that game. They should have won, Anthony Lynn lost them that game last
Agree.
season by a play call in the fourth quarter that they could have scored on. Anthony Lynn's the reason why they lost that game last season. Brandon Staley is not going to do that to the Chargers this season. I think they beat them handedly, and we see Mahomes take his second loss in September, and a lot of people are going, oh, crap, we're falling back in our division because I think the Raiders and the Broncos win this weekend as well.
Yeah, I forgot about the Broncos are 2-0.
Yep.
Granted, they played nobody, but
Yes, so that's our NFL talk. Let's move on to something magical.
I'm always down for some magic.
And I'll tell you one thing. This magic moment.
Beautiful.
Clay, what's your magic moment?
No test this week, thank God. That was magical. I would say the highlight of my week, me and my girlfriend took a trip up to Huntsville, went to Dave & Buster's.
Nice.
Oh,
That's
nice,
fun,
nice.
isn't it?
Never been.
And steak and
Never been to Dave & Buster's.
How fun is that, Clay?
very fun. Had a blast. They had a Hungry Hippo game that was out of service, so that kind of sucked.
No, you were playing that lock game.
I was playing the lot
I
game,
saw
and
that.
they have this game where you get a bunch of ping pong balls and you just throw them, and you try and hit like these little things. We played that like 10 times, no, like 20 times. We went to Steak and Shake too, so that was nice because
That's a good date.
I hadn't had that in forever. But that was fun. That was kind of like I'd had such a stressful week that I was like kind of chilling, getting back into, having a fun life and social life. So that was good. That was my magic moment of the week.
Awesome.
Blake.
My magic moment was last weekend. I went to Tuscaloosa and just hung out with John Michael, Cameron, which Zach came back home, but and then hung out with some guys that I knew from Tuscaloosa from last year, and just had a good time. Went bowling
Nice.
at Dax,
Screw that stupid game.
and then got somebody to watch Inception for the first time. Great movie, still love it, and it's just a great time down there.
And now Blake's moving back because he misses it so much.
Nah,
Quad squad for life.
All right, Dax, you're probably in the same boat as me.
I wonder what this could be.
Obviously the game. Obviously being there. Obviously the pregame rush. That was just incredible. I still can't get over that. But I'm going to veer off a little bit.
wow.
DC was so awesome just to see it all again. I saw it at when I was 12, and me and Dax were talking. That's almost been 10 years ago.
Yep.
We're too shy from it.
Think about that. I mean, it's almost been 10. When we were leaving DC, the sun was kind of setting, and they put us. It was on this like 2-lane. It was like a government road. It wasn't like you can't build on it. It's kind of like the Natchez Trace. Can't put any businesses on it or anything. It was just a 2-lane road down the river, out of Washington,
The Potomac.
up into Maryland. It was absolutely beautiful. And you just look to the right, and you can kind of see the city back to your right. And if it was fall, I mean, I might have just stopped the car and just sat for a little while. And that's how awesome it was. So that was my magic
I
moment.
need to go back, man.
Dax, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
My magic moment, golly, me and Eli are on a same wavelength. I was not even going to say the game either. Mine was straight up DC. I just enjoyed the time walking around. I mean, it was good just to get to relax, if that makes sense. I feel like we're always running and gunning, especially with this and what else we're all doing in our personal lives. So when you can finally take like almost a pseudo vacation, even though we walked 20,000 steps in 9.3 miles that day,
It didn't feel like that, though.
it didn't
We were
feel like
relaxing.
it. I mean, I think I planned how we walked through that thing
Yeah, it
well,
was nice.
so we did that. I was joking with them. I was telling them, I was like, we're going to have to take a follow-through trip to D.C. because you
Yes,
can do that
it is
trip
awesome.
very money consciously. It's not that expensive. I mean, our flights were probably the most expensive thing we did to go into D.C.
We could stay with Hamoud.
Exactly, Hamoud. And then I'm going to have to say it, the Old Epic Grill.
Oh, my
I don't miss on restaurant suggestions. I just don't.
That was so good.
It was awesome. I paid for the most expensive steak I've ever bought in my
Yeah,
life.
it was expensive.
But it was so good. It was amazing. They had a great Burmese sauce. I'm thinking about it right
Fancy
now.
over here,
I had a
bro.
pork chop, and I'm not lying.
It was 4 fingers.
It was
4
this
fingers.
thick.
4 fingers thick.
It was incredible.
So, I mean, it was a great time. I love DC. I love the history. I mean, I've got probably 75 photos from the Smithsonian on my phone.
You mean the Mythsmonian?
Yeah, the Smithsonian block.
Nice. The grill is literally, if you look at the map, it is like 200 yards from the White House. on a map. Like, it is right there.
So it's a real big famous grill of like all kinds of famous politicians went there. There's a bar. I was telling Eli about it when we got in there. There's 4 bars in the grill, and it's a classic Victorian style restaurant. But it's not like one of those like fancy smancy ones either. Like, it's fancy, but they let you wear casual clothes in there, so it's really cool. The bar we sat by, where our booth was, is the one that they say is Teddy Roosevelt's, and it's actually got animals that he shot and killed mounted on the wall. I was telling him about that.
That's cool.
I'm the historian. I love history crap like that. So
Teddy Roosevelt.
Best
one.
Dog. But that was a cool thing. That was my magic moment. And let's go ahead and talk about what everyone looks forward to every weekend.
Yeah, it gets me through
The
my
road
week.
to 70 is in motion. I'm in last. Eli, give the rest of the leaderboard.
After 15 games of Pick'em, I'm in first with 8. Blake has come out of the woodwork after missing week 1 and gone to 7.
That's what I like to hear.
Clay and the polls are tied at 6.
Come back!
And Colin's Word put the guest on his back to get from 2 to 5 this week. And Dax follows up with 4.
The guests were the guests were 2.
2 of 10 going into this week.
Well, I think that's what I was, so I'm not going to say much. That's exactly what I was because I missed one game.
Yeah, you were.
What a week!
Nebraska almost did it for me, and Auburn.
did. That would've been
Auburn
huge.
jacked me
Yeah, that
up
would've been
too.
massive.
So those were two. Those were two I almost pulled out from under the woodwork. But you know what? It's part of it. You got to make bold predictions sometimes when you're at the bottom. You got to try to get back to the top doing some crazy things. Well, we're going to do that this way. We're going to tell you about the games, and we will go back through and pick them after. Number 4, the games we're picking this week is number 4, Oklahoma versus West Virginia. We're going to start there. A matchup that I really think is a sneaky underrated one, even though the spread is at 17.5 right now. Climac, what's your thoughts about this game?
It's kind of making me mad how Oklahoma gets all these games at home, like all these big games they're getting to play at Oklahoma. I feel like if this game was at West Virginia, I mean, you're talking about like something. I mean, that's tough, especially a West Virginia team that's coming off a huge win against Virginia Tech. West Virginia lost to Maryland week 1. Is that correct?
Correct. A team that's undefeated.
Beautiful state.
Yes. But then we're able to capitalize last week and beat, I think they were 15th, Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech.
Huge, just confidence builder for them. I think they're probably riding on cloud 9, like I was saying earlier. But I don't know. Oklahoma has a lot to prove this game. This could be a huge statement game for Oklahoma. You know, you've messed around with two teams that you, let's be honest, should have beat handily. If you can come out and, you know, put your foot on their neck and just beat the crap out of them.
You're punching their neck with your foot?
Just put your foot on their neck and punch them.
If you can just win a game handily, that would help your resume a lot. Because right now you're really not impressing anybody. This will be fun. 6:30 p.m.
All right. Remember, Blake, we're not picking them yet.
I know. Like Clay was saying, West Virginia, I mean, to them, that's a big game last week. Beating a top 25 team. You know, Oklahoma just hasn't really surprised me. Like, they don't look like a top 4 team.
No.
They don't look like a playoff team at all.
Their
offense is just, it's not clicking, it looks like.
No, that's the thing. Like, you always think Oklahoma offense. It's been Oklahoma defense.
Like, they have a ton of talent on offense.
Yeah.
But it's just not working together. But, I mean, as we saw last week, home field advantage did work against Nebraska. I think they had, on one drive, they had like 4 false starts in a row. It was like 1st and 25.
That's just enough.
The first drive, it was like 6 penalties.
That's
I'd
just a Nebraska thing. I've watched every one of their games. They can't keep the cadence down.
Yeah. West Virginia coming off that big win, they have a lot of confidence.
Don't pick it yet.
I know, I'm not.
He wants to.
I want to, because I was leading into
I totally agree with what both of y'all said. If Oklahoma can come out and really establish something here, sort of, you almost feel like get the ball rolling here in week 4. But, you know, West Virginia just beat a really good team who beat North Carolina. We'll see how that win fares. I agree. If it was at home, I would, consider West Virginia. But,
I feel like if Oklahoma can win this game handily, I feel like everything starts flipping around. You can kind of change your season right here, and for the better, of course, but you could also change it for the worse, definitely. So they need to come out and play for real. Don't take this team lightly because, they proved last week they're legit.
So for me, where I look at these games the most, and it's not because I don't value other positions, but in college football especially, the quarterback position is the most important position on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Every week. You see it with top teams. If their quarterback play is bad, they're bad. Right here, I hone in on Jarrett Doege versus Spencer Rattler. They're very similar. Jarrett Doege is only off by a few yards when it comes to passing. He's only lacking by 1 touchdown, where he has 6. Spencer Rattler has 7. And the thing to look at here, Spencer Rattler has 2 interceptions. Jarrett Doege has 3. Very similar quarterbacks in the play, especially when you're talking about a guy who was looked at as a top pick
top
in Spencer Rattler. The points per game, West Virginia's not off by far. I'm telling you, this Oklahoma team is squeaking by wins, and I don't think they're going to stop doing it. There's going to be a team that's going to get them eventually.
I agree.
And I would not be surprised if it's West Virginia this weekend. When you look at the stats, they're very similar from running back all the way to wide receiver, except the difference here that I keep looking at is this Marvin Mims for Oklahoma that they were keying in as their wide receiver to be this top guy has no touchdown still into the 4th week of the season. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a close game. Clayback, go ahead and take your first. What's your pick for this game?
Like you said, I couldn't agree more about the fact by squeaking by, you can only squeak by so much until you get slapped in the face and somebody beats you. It doesn't happen this week. They might not win by much, but they're going to win this game, especially with it being in Norman. I don't see them losing. I think West Virginia probably comes in thinking they're the stuff and probably gets put in their place real quick. I think Oklahoma wins. Probably, I'm going to say Oklahoma wins this one handily. I think they prove a point this week.
I don't know. There's a part of me that wants to go West Virginia just because Oklahoma just doesn't surprise me. Like, Spencer Rattler just doesn't do anything for me. But
he don't get it done for Blake.
Yeah. I've always hated him. Even in QB1 on Netflix, I always hated him. But I think Oklahoma gets it done, like Clay said, handily.
Hey.
I mean, I'd pick them to cover that spread.
The only reason I want to go West Virginia is Pat McAfee. I know this is a huge game for him, and he's really excited. But I got to go with Oklahoma. I think they get it done. No matter how they get it done, they're going to win this game. So,
Dax is in deep thought. If you can go with West Virginia right now, that's a big.
Do you pick against Oklahoma 2 straight weeks?
So I'm looking at the last 5 games. And the one thing I can look at is they both played Iowa State last year. West Virginia lost 42-6. Oklahoma won 27-21. But I'm going to stay with Oklahoma here.
He always does that crap.
I really, there's everything in my fiber that wants to take West Virginia. There really is, but I just... Screw it. I'm taking West Virginia.
Okay.
Give me the Mountaineers. I do not believe in this Oklahoma team whatsoever. I wanted to say that they were going to have the easiest cakewalk. I do not
say it.
We did say it. I know. I just they do have an easy cakewalk. They're just not taking advantage of it. But I completely see where y'all come from with the blowout loss. I really just need to gain one back on y'all.
This could be catastrophic for you.
Yeah.
Well, we got a long way.
Yeah.
Well, so for me, and it's really not that I feel super confident in this West Virginia team. I mean, they had a good game last week. I just need to get a game back on y'all, and there's not a lot of other games on this schedule this week that I feel like I'm going to pick different than you. So I'm going to take West Virginia here.
I like it.
Maybe they'll pull one off. I don't think they will, but we'll see.
I don't hate the pick.
It's the one pick I looked on our list that I've got for us that I feel comfortable going opposite of what I think y'all are going to pick. And so I'll take West Virginia here. Maybe. I don't believe it, but I'll try.
Hey,
let's go ahead and talk fences, number 9, Clemson versus NC State. ACC, the
ACC showdown right here.
Potentially right up there at the Pac-12 for me right now in conference
I'll
play.
Start this one. NC State, I watched them get beat by Mississippi State badly. Mississippi State is arguably one of the worst teams in the SEC this year.
That's not arguable. Vanderbilt and them are holding down.
I understand. Yeah, they're at the bottom. After seeing that, I just, the respect for NC State has just fallen off. Clemson, they're going to have way more athletes. They're going to be way better. Clemson in a blowout.
This Clemson team is giving me, no offense, Dax, heavy Chicago Bear vibes.
No, there's no
This
offense there.
defense has played 3 games. They have not given up a touchdown. They haven't. 3 games, no touchdown for the defense. Only touchdown, I guess, has been scored was a pick 6 against in the Georgia game.
I didn't know that.
But the offense has been absolutely
Abysmal.
terrible.
Their scheme
Like,
is so bad.
I don't
It's
know.
So bad.
I don't know how. Like what happened? DJ Ugalehi is supposed to be some hotshot quarterback, and I thought he was going to be a stud.
1 touchdown for 2 interceptions on 51 out of 86 passing attempts.
Stud. I mean, heck, dude's a beast. I guess the talent is just. I mean, you can't deny the talent and the intangibles. I don't know if it's play calling. I don't know if he just is not good anymore. But I don't. They got to get something rolling. I can't say they're going to lose one of these games because they literally play nobody. But that 9 is going to keep going up to 10, 11, 12. If you keep squeezing by teams like Georgia Tech, 14-8, or if you barely beat NC State this weekend, I mean, that's not impressive, really. And you're at a point you have to impress because you've already lost 1 game. I mean, you can't squeak by anymore. You have to win handily if you want a chance to get in the playoff. So they need to prove a point big time. As much as you can. I know NC State isn't some powerhouse, but heck, you need to win by more than at least a touchdown. They hadn't, other than South Carolina State, they hadn't done that yet.
Kind of like what you were saying, DJ just hasn't really done anything for me. I mean, 1 touchdown, 2 picks. That's pretty bad, especially for that Clemson team. I will cut him some slack last week. Georgia Tech, I mean, you had a rain or thunderstorm delay, and you had basically a 2-hour halftime. NC State, I haven't watched much of them other than that Mississippi State game. Quarterback doesn't look too bad, 70 for 104. I mean, I don't know.
I feel like NC State always has a good quarterback.
Yeah.
Or not good, but somebody who's always going to get drafted for some reason. Seems like every year they have some prospect who's no stud, but he's always on draft boards.
Devin Leary's good. He legit is good.
Exactly. They always
NC State's defense is definitely going to have to show up in this game.
Well, from what Clemson's showing, it won't be too hard. Just play normal football and you'll hold them to 10 points.
Thanks.
NC State has better stats than Clemson. They do. That's when it breaks down. And I would argue, besides the Georgia game, they've probably played a tougher schedule. Well, no, Furman. But here's the deal. I'm not going to say that NC State can beat them, but I think they have a chance. This Clemson team, it's utterly dumbfounding me what they're doing on offense because it's clearly not working. Someone needs to be fired. On the offensive coordinator. No, on the offensive coordinator side. It does.
So many jobs.
Am I wrong? They put up 14 points against Georgia Tech
team.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal
It's just
is.
hard.
Their quarterback is ranked currently.
It's not talent. You know talent is there just
And
because
what's
of who
that
they are.
Wide receiver they have. 8.
87th
Ross?
in the
Is it
nation.
Justin Ross?
Yeah.
He's 87th in the nation in passing yards. He has 475 passing yards through 3 games. You have 1 touchdown and 2 interceptions with a QBR of 43.7. Please tell me there's something wrong in the coaching room.
Stud.
That or there's something wrong with him because he looked perfectly fine last season.
He looked really good. I thought he was better than Bryce Young.
Their scheme is so bad. Here's the deal. Their scheme was just carried because they had Deshaun Watson and Trevor Lawrence in the past 3 years. And then you have Kelly Bryant, too, who wasn't a sham either. He just got hurt in Missouri.
Sham, nice.
Yes. So here's my deal. I'm going to take Clemson here. I'm going to go and make the first pick. I'm taking Clemson here, but I do think this NC State team has a shot at beating them just because they can actually score, unlike this Clemson offense.
I'm going Clemson as well. I don't see this game being close.
I'm going Clemson. I probably do see it being close.
I do
Clemson
too.
hasn't given me a reason not to believe it
I
won't be
think it'll be
close, but I
close.
think they'll still win. I'll take Clemson.
You know, I have no reason to not pick Clemson. They've been in the playoffs every year almost. And, I mean, they win all the big games. Clemson hasn't looked that good this season,
Pick Clemson.
but they looked great. A little bit great.
A little bit
Little
great.
A little bit
great.
great. Yeah, a little bit great.
Somewhat great.
But I'm picking NC State. I'm picking the upset. Put it down. They are at NC State.
We have a
NC
lot.
State's crowd is going to go crazy for this game because NC State is going to beat them by.
Be careful here. You've already made one bold take.
Yeah.
Don't ruin it.
They're going to beat them less than 10 points.
All right.
Okay, I thought about to go like beat them by 20.
No,
got a lot
it won't be a blowout because DJ is going to choke.
Like
Yeah,
you're
whatever
gonna
his last name is.
you're gonna be busy on the TikTok this week with all the clips we were giving you,
Oh, yeah.
and you self just gave us one.
All right, well, we got number 19, Michigan versus Rutgers, the matchup of the undefeateds in the Big Ten. You have the 3-0 Michigan, number 19, Wolverines, and then you have your Rutgers, the Scarlet Knights at 3-0 also as well. Clay Mack, what do you think about this game?
Both teams 3-0. Looking at the schedule, Rutgers hasn't played much, but you're 3-0. It's more than what most teams can say.
They beat Delaware.
Michigan, they were supposed to have somewhat of a challenge in week 2 against Washington. That didn't really pan out because Washington's not as good as we thought it would be. I've been impressed with Michigan. I'm sipping the Kool-Aid again. I know. I'm sure they'll end up losing like 4 games because that's what they always do. But right now, they look very impressive. Even with the didn't their star running back get injured out for the year? Was that their running back or their receiver? I know they had a key offensive player.
I want to say it was their wide receiver.
The key offensive player go down is out, I think, for the year. But it looks like they've been able to fill that void. So I've been really impressed with Michigan. Rutgers, I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. Hadn't watched a second of a Rutgers football game. But 3-0, I mean, being 3-0, you're not some joke. I mean, and I know they've been building a program for a few years now. They've continuously got better.
Under Greg Schiano.
Yeah, we used to throw Rutgers in there with Kansas.
Yeah.
You can't say that anymore. They're pretty solid. They're building a program. So this should be fun. Is it at Michigan?
Yes.
Yeah, that's in the big house.
Oh, gosh.
I am not a big Michigan fan at all. I hate Harbaugh.
Harbaugh.
But it looks like Michigan finally found a quarterback, McNamara. He's looked pretty solid. Their running back, Corum, had a huge game last week.
He's not hurt, by the way. I looked it up.
He's not. Okay, it's a receiver.
He's had a pretty big game last week. I mean, I don't really know what he did, or I know what he did,
don't know
but
his stats.
yeah, I didn't really watch him the entire game. But Michigan does look pretty good. I just hate Michigan in general.
Blake Corum, 3 touchdowns.
Yeah, he has 48
10 a carry.
Yeah,
48 carries, 407 yards this season.
it's pretty insane.
I was very excited about this game because Rutgers is 3-0, and I read that headline the other day. You just don't see that a lot. Rutgers 3-0. You would like to think they could go into the big house and do this. I'm not sure they can. I'm looking at total yards per game. Michigan's averaging 514 to Rutgers 350. So obviously,
514.
yes, Rutgers is not getting it done offensively compared to Michigan. Defense is about the same, but 200 yards difference is going to lead to about 3 touchdowns difference, which is the spread. Michigan at home, it's Michigan at home.
Yeah.
That is what I've seen too with the yards wise, except I will say that they are both scoring about the same per game. Michigan by less than a tutty. I mean, it was 6 points. So I feel like it's going to be a close matchup in that sense, but I love Cade McNamara. He looks like a stud, and I'm like with Clay. I think I'm drinking the Michigan Kool-Aid as well. I just really do like Harbaugh. I really think that I like Michigan. I don't know why the hate for them. I just think it's a cool school. And I've watched this Rutgers team. I sat down at the end of last season, and I watched them play Nebraska. And it might be the worst brand of football I've seen in a while. And I've seen a couple of the highlights. Vedral, however you say his last name, I was pretty high on him last season. He's got good stats. I mean, he's thrown 4 touchdowns, no interceptions. But I think it's hard to go into the big house and win. Clay Mack, what's your opinion here?
I'm not gonna waste any time. I'll take Michigan. I would pick them at Rutgers, but it being in the big house, man, this is a big game for Rutgers. I think it's too big, and for Michigan, it's nice to see this because it feels like since Harbaugh's been there, they've always lost a game early that has just kind of set the tone for the entire season.
They've always played the big game matchup.
You have a chance to be 4-0 going into the next week against Wisconsin. So I think this is a big confidence booster. I think they get it done. I'll take Michigan.
Yeah, kind of like what you were saying. It's at Michigan. It is the first conference game. Both of them, both undefeated. I just don't really see no reason to not pick Michigan. Like,
No doubt.
I just think they'll handle business, beat them pretty well.
Not going to waste any time here. It's at the big house. Michigan runs away with it.
I'm going to take Michigan. Like Clay said, they've got the chance to set up an undefeated matchup against Wisconsin. I kind of look at Michigan as like the Auburn of the Big Ten because you play Wisconsin, Michigan State, Penn State, and Ohio State. It's a tough schedule every year. You've got that. So I'm going to go ahead and take them to beat Rutgers. And I like them. Show me what you got this week, and I would potentially like them against Wisconsin, especially coming after a hard game of what they've got, which what we'll talk about later in this episode.
Mike could beat Ohio State this year. Oh.
What?
Dax had a button malfunction.
I had a button malfunction.
Gosh.
It gave me the wrong CBS sound this week. It didn't give me the ESPN or the SEC on CBS. That's just pain.
You want me to sing it for you?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay, there we go. We got number 7, Texas A&M versus 16, Arkansas.
All right, that's enough of that.
Hey, look, at Fall Through, if we have a button malfunction, we'll back it up with our own voices.
We do.
Number
We know
7,
how to,
A&M
count.
versus Arkansas, which for me is College Game Day this week.
Yeah,
It's my favorite
easily.
game of the week. Clay, Matt, go ahead and start us off.
Big. Oh crap, dude! Why did I not? This was at Arkansas. Oh, whole aspect of this game just changed. Holy crap! I was ready to say, that 12th man's gonna be fired up first. Really, I think it's probably the first ranked game of the season.
Those pigs are going to be fired up.
But now this kind of flips the script a little bit. A&M has not looked good at all. I know quarterback injury has kind of screwed them over, but still, you feel like there's enough talent elsewhere to make up for that almost. Woo! In Arkansas, I don't think there's a more hotter team and more confident team in the country than the Razorbacks.
It's not in Arkansas. It's at the Dallas Stadium.
Okay.
It's in Jerry's world.
Oh, yeah, they always do that.
Yeah, they do. Okay, well, mutual. So this will basically be an A&M home game, really. But Arkansas does travel well.
You're in the U8 grads. You're in the U8 grad stadium, in Jerry Jones.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that. I think this is probably the game of the week. Both two teams that are fighting in the West, and if you lose this game, you have a lot of ground to make up the rest of the season.
Way behind.
Winning this game kind of leaps you up. It's still going to be a tough road, but you're in a lot better shape than if you lose. So this will be fun, and I think Arkansas is going to come out and play with their heads on fire because, like I said, I don't think anybody's more confident than the Razorbacks right now.
Call it, Blake.
100% agree with y'all too. Arkansas has just been on fire, really. And A&M, again, with these like high-ranked teams, the offenses just don't they don't do anything for me. But it is at a neutral site. Fans could do something with it. Arkansas's offense has looked pretty good. It's just that run game for both teams is going to play a huge factor.
Especially for A&M because you have a quarterback who this is the biggest game he's played yet.
Yeah.
They need to take some pressure off him early.
Arkansas is averaging over 100 yards more per game rushing. So I agree, Clay. A&M's got to get the the ball on the ground and relieve this guy a little bit. It's a big stage for both teams, especially with a quarterback that A&M has. And Arkansas is not used to playing in these games as of the past 5 years or so. The run game is going to be huge for A&M. That's kind of my key of the game, if you will. They got to get it going and help their quarterback out. If they do that, I do think they'll beat Arkansas. But if they don't, this is going to be close.
Mm-hmm.
So the game I remember when I first started remembering A&M versus Arkansas was a Kevin Sumlin team versus I can't even remember who Arkansas is. Probably was Balaam when that's how you say his last name. Bielema, yeah, there we go. When they were playing, I think it was when they first started going over to Jerry Jones's massive stadium, and they were both unranked, and it was an ugly game. And I think the A&M,
It was a great game.
pulled it, yeah. So
It was ugly, but it was a great game.
That's the first one I really remember from that. And you don't, like Eli said, you don't remember an Arkansas team coming in 3-0, undefeated, ranked versus an undefeated ranked A&M team. It shows that how dominant the SEC is. It shows how dominant the West is. I am really looking forward to this game. In my opinion, KJ Jefferson has been the second most impressive quarterback in the SEC. I don't buy into Matt Corral considering that he only had one touchdown versus a ranked Louisville, and his other touchdowns have came against nobodies. So I've got to see more from him. I think KJ Jefferson has proved it against actual teams. So I think KJ Jefferson's been the second most impressive quarterback in the SEC behind Bryce Young. I think this could be a week that he really shows that this Arkansas team is legit. The game goes on his back. Of course, you're going to have to rely on Trelon Smith as well, which we talked a lot about Isaiah Spiller coming into the season being a breakout running back, and he really hasn't done it for me this year. I think he's probably the third or fourth best running back in the SEC right now. But, you've got a Brian Robinson at Alabama. You've got Tank Bigsby at Auburn. You also have a Jarquez Hunter at Auburn. You have this Trelon Smith guy who has a few less yards with him, same carries. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be a classic SEC 230 showdown, and I'm very excited to see who y'all pick here. Clay Mack, go and start us off with your picks.
A&M reminds me so much of Oklahoma right now, squeaking by. The Colorado win was, it was bad.
Ugly.
Like it was so ugly. You did not look good. Arkansas, on the other hand, all their wins have looked pretty solid, especially the Texas one. Just going in there, killed them. Texas got blown out. I think there's too much talent on the field on A&M. It's just so much experience. You've played in a game of this magnitude before. Arkansas really hasn't. I know the Texas game was big, but compared to what some of these A&M guys have been in, I don't think it compares. I'm going to take A&M in a really close one, but it's just due to the experience and the amount of talent. But if maybe next year Arkansas, I would probably take them because they're on the come up for sure. But I'll go A&M.
A&M has beat Arkansas 7 straight times. Their offense this year doesn't look great.
It's awful.
Other than the running game, Spiller, returned from last year, looks phenomenal. He looks great. But Arkansas beat Texas, a pretty good football team. Arkansas is on cloud 9. They go into Dallas, and they're going to beat A&M in this game.
Blake takes Texas A&M. Arkansas.
Arkansas, this might be a clip later. Arkansas is not ready for this game at all. I think they believe they are. The Texas win is not that impressive to me. It is for Arkansas, but I don't think Texas's name is bigger than who they are. I think Texas A&M gets this done 17 or more.
That is some big points right there.
Oh, I hope this is clipped. Arkansas.
I know who he's picking.
Arkansas has been on my radar since we started talking SEC predictions early in this season. I think Sam Pittman was one of the best hires in the SEC last season. I believe they should have had more wins than they did last year on one of the hardest schedules I've ever seen a football team have to go against. A&M has not looked good in big-time matchups ever since a guy named Johnny Manziel has left the program. I think of multiple SEC matchups on the CBS level against Alabama. Trevor Knight. You've had Kellen Mond. And what do? They go out and lay a big, fat egg every time. Give me the Arkansas Razorbacks. I feel like this is their time to shine. I feel like they are the surprise team in the West this year. They're going to be the one that I think they're going to beat A&M. They've squeaked by, and they've squeaked by, and they've squeaked by. I think this A&M team isn't ready. I think Arkansas is ready to step up and take a big chance right here, and I think they're going to put themselves in the forefront, especially with the schedule they have remaining. Could Arkansas be the surprise team in the West this year? I do think so as well. So this could be clip material, but I think Arkansas has got this game. I think they're going to go in there. I think they're going to travel well. And I don't think I've seen this fan base this excited in a long time.
God, they're annoying, dude. Holy crap. I did not realize Arkansas fans were so annoying.
Here's my thing. A&M, and then you know what they do? They also had an off week. They had an off week this week, so they've had time to prepare. Then they go play number 2 Georgia at Georgia, and we'll talk about that game next week. Arkansas has a chance to take a big step into the top 10. I'm taking the Woo Pig Soos. Let's go and talk about the college game day game of the week. Notre Dame versus 18 Wisconsin. Both undefeated. Notre Dame should not
Wisconsin
be.
Lost to Penn State.
Oh, Wisconsin did lose to
hate
Penn State. I'm
Notre
sorry.
Dame.
Notre Dame undefeated, should have lost. Wisconsin lost to a very good Penn State team. Matt, go ahead and give you your breakdown.
I would argue Wisconsin's loss is a lot more impressive than Notre Dame's 3 wins.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Squeaked by week in and week out. This just seems to be what they do. But hey, you're 3-0. That's more than what some people can say. Wisconsin's loss, it's tough that you lost at home in that environment, but you played well enough to win. For Notre Dame, I just think this is the game that you really don't have to come out and dominate. You just got to win this one. And if you squeak by, that's okay because this is a good football team. But down the road, you got to start making getting significant wins in dominant fashion. You got a chance next week, of course, against Cincinnati. So I kind of need Notre Dame to win this game too, for Cincinnati's sake. But it's 11 o'clock kickoff, which I hate for game
It's
day.
the big noon game of the week.
But it should be a good game. But I think Wisconsin season by no means is over. You still have a shot at the Big Ten.
Yeah.
But
your season runs through this game.
It's hard. I mean, you're 1-1. You need to win out. So it's be tough, but it'll be fun.
Yeah, like you said, Notre Dame is just squeak by week in, week out. I mean, almost losing to Florida State. Florida State then loses to Jacksonville State.
And then loses to Wake Forest.
Wake Forest bad. Very bad.
And then you almost lose to Toledo, which hats off to their
shootout.
quarterback for that broken finger or something.
Snapped it back in.
Yeah.
Oh, so nasty.
That was a game-winning
So
touchdown.
nasty. And then Purdue.
Yeah, which
Purdue
they
was
beat
better.
them 27-13. Kind of a close game.
People were saying could be an upset.
Yeah. But Wisconsin's quarterback has not thrown a touchdown yet, but their running game is very strong.
Sounds like Wisconsin.
51 carries, 265 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Pretty good running games right there. And their defense looks pretty good. Held Penn State to 16 points. I mean, it's in Wisconsin. It's going to play a huge factor.
I agree with that.
No. It's in Chicago. It's into the Bears Stadium.
Oh, really?
It's Soldier Field.
These neutral sites can't throw us off.
I'm telling you, I don't think y'all know this, but Wisconsin's favored, being higher ranked by 7, actually. So picking Notre Dame would be technically the upset. Wisconsin's lost to Penn State. I'm really high on, obviously, after seeing them play in person and beat my favorite team. This will be a great matchup. I'm really looking forward to it.
I think that you've got the matchup of the former Wisconsin quarterback Jack Cohn going against his former team in Graham Mertz of the Wisconsin Badgers. I feel like this is a Wisconsin team that has arguably the best loss of the season so far in college football against a Penn State team, because I don't think that Clemson can claim the Georgia loss anymore because they're so bad. I look down at the stats. Total yards, Wisconsin is beating them by at least 30-something yards here. Now, on another note, Notre Dame is scoring more than them, but they've also played nobody. They've played a Purdue team, they've played Toledo, they've played an FSU team that they beat by 3 points in overtime. An FSU team that Blake said lost to Jackson State. Wisconsin's played 2 games. They played Penn State, and they've played Eastern Michigan University.
Let's go.
Gauntlet.
The Eagles gauntlet. I feel like that if you're Notre Dame, well, if you're Cincinnati, you want Notre Dame to win this game. We talked about this.
Oh, for sure.
Your playoff pick
Go
rides
Irish.
on this game.
I'll be repping gold helmet, whatever.
I'm not going to say anymore. I'm not going to say anymore till I pick. So, Clay, I want to hear what you're going to pick right here.
I need Notre Dame to win this game. I don't want to pick. I almost said I want to pick them. I don't want to pick them. I need Notre Dame to win this game. I just do not see how Wisconsin starts season 1-2. I can't picture that. But for my sake, so I don't sound like an idiot, I'm picking Notre Dame. Wisconsin starts 1-2, which sounds crazy, but for Cincinnati's sake, Notre Dame, please win, because then Cincinnati beats you, and then I look like a genius. But I'll take Notre Dame in this one, but not in a loving and caring way. I do not want to pick this, but I am.
Back to what Dax was saying, looking at the stats, I mean, Wisconsin's allowed 194 yards to Notre Dame's allowed 381. Wisconsin's defense has looked pretty good, but they have played Wake Forest. Oh, wait, no. That was last year. EMU allowed 7 points. It's EMU. But I'm going to have to go Wisconsin. I think Notre Dame won't stop the run game. Wisconsin's quarterback finally throws a touchdown pass. I think they beat them pretty good.
We all know I hate Notre Dame. I hate everything about them. If they never played another football game, I'd be fine with that. Sadly, they're the game day game of the week, and I have to pick this game. With all that being said, I'm going to go with Notre Dame. I think Wisconsin starts out 1-2.
Are you joking?
I'm trying to win the road to 70, and I do think Notre Dame wins this game as much as I hate them.
This kind of looks good for your Iowa take because of But then again, it also could be bad because if Wisconsin starts 1-2,
it's Notre Dame's going to get this game done. I don't know
I'm
how,
shocked.
but I think
I'm
they will.
shocked. Completely and utterly shocked right now. I was not expecting that. I think we picked the same 5 games. I think we picked the same winner.
Did.
So I want Notre Dame to win just for the sake of Clay's hot take. I do like Cincinnati. I think
Irish.
I want Notre Dame to win this game, but I'm gonna take Wisconsin. I don't think Brian Kelly has ever looked good in a primetime game.
Agreed.
And this is another one of them. Personally,
Where'd you get that idea? Freaking bomb.
I think Wisconsin. I do think that they have a lot there. I think Graham Mertz is going to show up. Jack Cohn, you have a lot to prove, but I've watched Wisconsin play a good team. I've not watched Notre Dame play a good team, and they've almost
FSU.
lost. Yeah. Notre Dame has almost lost to bad teams, and this Wisconsin team was a couple deep balls away from beating them. Their defense, I think, will dominate this offense. I'm going to take Wisconsin here, and plus I can gain a big one back on you too, so I'm going to just go ahead and do that as well. So go ahead and give me Wisconsin. I wish Notre Dame would win for Clay's hot take, so if I get this one wrong, it's not going to hurt my feelings personally. So I'm going to go ahead and take Wisconsin there as well. That's our games of the week. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at Follow Through Show so that you can see. And you can also make your picks to go against us. I really hope y'all do bad this week, so therefore I can, gain some momentum. Wow. Make sure to follow us on Instagram at Follow Through Show, Twitter at FT Through Show, TikTok at Follow Through Show, Facebook, which is for what?
Your parents.
Follow Through. Email us at followthrough.podcast@gmail.com. You can follow Blake at BlakeMCO2, Eli McCoy61, and Clay at Clay2Mac. Follow me at Daxon Crow. That's my name. Woo! A Thursday episode of Follow Through. Always fun. Went a little long, but there was so much to cover, a lot that's going on in the sporting world. Boys, any parting takes?
Go Bearcats and go Irish.
Giraffe is the best animal. Check him out.
Mark it down, NC State over Clemson.
Remember, Blake also marked down South Carolina beating Georgia.
Okay.
That didn't happen. That's not true.
Yeah, that's not true.
Arkansas proves that they are competing for the number 2 spot in SEC West this week, and has a shot to beat an undefeated Georgia team in Athens in an 11 o'clock game.
I think Dax picked 3 different teams. Then he picked West Virginia, Arkansas, and Wisconsin. So you can make or break right there. That's tough.
could. It could be very bad, but I do believe in 2 of those teams, not the West Virginia game. I just thought I'd take something opposite. I honestly thought we would all pick the same, so that's why I took them. Kind of regretting that decision now, but we'll roll with it. It's okay, guys. Merch is coming soon, but as of everything in this pandemic, there is a shortage. So we're kind of waiting on hoodies, and that's just kind of how it is. Sorry about that, but it is what it is. We will see you again on Monday's episode of Follow Through. Can't wait for that. We'll also be paying attention. We'll start Saturday, our bold takes for Saturday, so you'll see a video go up from each one of us on our bold takes. Clay Mac had a really good one this past week.
I did.
Blake did not. We will not expose that. It should be on our things. Until next time.
Peace out.